Chris Bates here from St Bernard Support, and he contacted the centre. It was just before Christmas, I think, wasn't it, Chris?
It was, yes.
Yes, and we had a chat, and he wanted to work with us.
My name is Chris Bates, and I work with a charity called St Bernard Support, and we're a charity that specialises in terms of providing and enhancing providing financial guidance and enhancing the financial well-being of people affected by serious illness. We do provide support to people with cancer, but we're not just a cancer-specific charity, so we can help people with motor neuron disease and heart disease, or any what we would classify as a serious illness. So you could end up having, assets of £300,000 or more just drained away to fund those care costs. And it's a case where if it was like a proportional basis where 50% went to fund care, 50% was allowed to be inherited, it would mean the burden on families would not be as great as it is. And also what's unfair about it is all too often families have been providing care until somebody's dementia gets to the level they can no longer do so. They're not being paid for that, and then suddenly they find their inheritance going, all the way to the state to fund, that care provision. And at the moment, it doesn't look like we're going to see any changes before 2029, because again, it's been kicked into the long grass with regard to yet another commission to look into funding long-term care. One of the big mistakes that people can make when they're being diagnosed with an illness like cancer is they may rush into releasing pension monies, which can have negative tax consequences for them, because if somebody has less than 12 months to live, they can release all their pension monies tax-free. All they need to do that is actually get a letter from the consultant stating that. However, if you've rushed in and actually just released your pensions because you think I've only got a few years to live, you can end up being hit, depending on the size of the pension fund, with up to 45% tax. And it can be, as I say, ridiculous somebody paying that tax when all they needed to have was a letter from the consultant, which would have waived potentially tens of thousands of pounds worth of tax for themselves.